Well, hi there. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's Coffee and a Chat. My name is Danielle Vincent. I've got my coffee. You're here. So let's get started. Well, this week has been a very tough one for lovers of America. And the reason is because, of course, on Friday, there was the ban on people from Muslim countries coming into the U.S. and blocking many U.S. citizens from actually entering the country, which is abhorrent. It's unbelievable. It's unthinkable. And I feel like if I don't say something about it, I am in some way condoning it or ignoring it. And so I wanted to start this week's episode saying that we cannot tolerate this. We have to stand up. We have to write our representatives. We have to call our representatives. Calling is so effective. And I'm including a link in this week's episode to the way for shy people to make phone calls. I'm incredibly shy. It's very difficult for me to get on the phone. I do not like talking on the phone. It is actually quite terrifying to me, but I did it. I called our representative and I talked to a very nice lady on the phone. She did not yell at me. She did not call me a freedom hater. She didn't do any of the things that I was afraid she would do. In fact, she listened to my complaints about Doug LaMalfa, who is our representative, and she said she would take a note. So, that said, 5 years ago, my husband and I were watching goat videos, as many people were, and this actually changed my life. It did, and it's so weird to say that because it made me realize something that I really wanted, which was to get out there and cuddle goats. And a lot of people watch these internet videos and they don't make life-changing decisions because of them, but for whatever reason, it did spark something. And Russ and I talked for a long time about how that might change our, how we might be able to achieve that. And so we were, working on that. And of course, that is when we found a bar of soap in a little farm store. And we bought that bar of soap. We bought, in fact, 2 bars of the same type of soap. And I love that soap. And I looked at that soap every single day while I was working at the Oprah Winfrey Network in Mid-City, LA. And yet we had this idea in mind of cuddling goats. And then we started this soap company because I realized, it's not that hard to make soap. And then we grew the soap company and we moved to Oakland, which was less than ideal. And we moved to Antioch, which was also not ideal, but slightly more ideal. And then we moved to Colfax, which was really close to ideal, but was not yet ideal. And now we live in Grass Valley, which on a wonderful 5-acre property, which we're renting. I think I mentioned it last week. And it is a wonderful, wonderful dream that has come true for us. Now, the part that was missing was the goat cuddling. And I think we all know that goats are, there's many videos of goats being feisty and angry and protective and all this stuff. Well, my friend and coworker Ruth had a bunch of kids, as in baby goats, and she invited me over to cuddle them and to put pajamas on them. And here is a picture of me cuddling my first ever goat in a pajamas, right there. Okay, I'm going to try and cut that in. And it was such a wonderful experience. I can't even tell you. And it made me realize that if I had if I had that goal so many years ago, and it caused such a transformation in my life, just the goal of cuddling a goat and then building everything, all the path made itself in this way, in this wonderful way, to create this amazing life that we have, and all of that. I mean, it just really, the path made its own way, and I just had to follow it. How many more things can we achieve in our lives that are even more worthy than cuddling goats? Which itself, I have to say, it was even more transcendent than I thought it was, that it would be. I mean, I really expected it to just be the cutest thing in the whole world and wonderful. But the connection that I felt with these goats, they were so sweet, and they were just absolutely wonderful, and they were sweet. And even the ornery goat mama, who's the goat mom of the goat that I'm holding in this picture, it ended up really liking me and trying to follow me home. And she actually was quite an ornery goat ordinarily, and seemed to quite take to me. So we may be adopting goats in the near future, which would be yet another dream realized. So that said, I have all these big impact goals for 2017 and 2018. I want to achieve the goal of positively impacting 152,000 people this year. And one of those things is that I really want people to evaluate and achieve their goals. And I also really feel strongly that we all have to get involved politically at this point. It is a dumpster fire in Washington, D.C. right now. And I think we all have to step up. And I don't really know what that means now, but I have been writing people trying to figure out what we can do. And I would love your support by sharing this video, by sharing the goat in pajama video, which is probably one of the most shareable videos that I've ever seen. I mean, if you need a vacation, an escapade from this political scape, goats in pajamas, it's hard to escape that, right? And I think that that's a very, very positive thing that you can influence people with. All right, so that said, I don't really know what to do. I don't have a good, clear path, but I know that the path will present itself to this benefit of a political landscape, and I would love your thoughts. So please comment on what you think we can do to positively impact this political scape. And that probably isn't cuddling goats, but I am open to suggestions, even if that does include more goat cuddling. I mean, I'm totally open to that. But yeah, I would love your thoughts on how we can come together and impact this political scape. It is really time for us to all come together. All right. So if you haven't worked on your goals yet, please do that. For Christ's sakes, I am including the link in the description so that you can go work on your goals. I can't speak enough about the importance of goals. And I really would love your assistance in joining forces on this. Okay? So thank you for joining me, and be mighty.